Good morning. Thank you for joining forpay.org. This is Consumers Doctor Vengala. Hey, I want to talk about health savings. One word of caution, folks. Yes, you guys need to be careful with the health savings accounts because yesterday I received a call from an investment firm or brokerage firm, whatever you may call, and I mentioned to him, basically it's a random call. I picked up the call, and basically he was asking me to invest the funds into his investment account, whatever. There are a lot of companies, folks out there. Just be careful. Health savings are not generally managed by many investment firms. I'm not sure how the Fidelity does, but I have a personal account with Ameritrade. I've been very happy with Ameritrade, and they've done a good job, and I have 100% control. I don't like someone when they advise me. This is an investment advisor, folks. One word of caution: do not transfer the funds from HSA to IRA. He was advising me to transfer the funds from the HSA to IRA. That's the biggest mistake you guys can ever do. By transferring the funds to IRA, then what will happen is for the future healthcare needs, you can't use those funds. That's number one. And number two, withdrawals are taxable, folks. This is where the triple tax benefit I've been talking about. I think you guys need to be careful when people advise you to transfer into the IRA. I know you may not be, it may not be a taxable event, but ultimately when we withdraw it, it is a taxable event. So that's the beauty about keeping it in the HSA for your health care withdrawals. It's not taxable. So I was really surprised at his advice. He was telling me he could transfer it to the IRA and he could manage those funds. I said, I basically had to educate him about the advantage of having an HSA. He was not aware. He has a Kaiser, but he used to have HSA funds. He transferred it to IRA, which is not advisable, folks. I strongly advise you not to transfer your HSA funds into IRA. So, having said that, HSA funds, you can check with Fidelity. I have no problem. Ameritrade, basically anyone can open an account, and I'll give you the benefits of having Ameritrade. I've been with Ameritrade for the last 25, 30 years, and I know the company. I know Charles Schwab bought the Ameritrade, but what I feel, it is a solid company, and you have, if they're FDIC insured, that's number one. Number two, when you open an account, you just simply fill up the form. It's easy to anybody to open an account, folks. It's like opening an account at a bank. And number three, once you open an account, then you can link it to your personal bank. It's easy to link. You can open an HSA Actually, if you have a HSA bank, you can link it to the HSA bank. That's what I did. Personally, I used to have the funds at the Optum Bank, which I had no control, and recently I transferred to the HSA Bank, which I have control, and I linked my HSA with Ameritrade. So now I can transfer the funds back and forth between Ameritrade and HSA. And every time we withdraw the funds from the Ameritrade, it goes into the HSA, and you can use your debit card for your healthcare needs. That's the way to set up, folks. I know a lot of people are not aware of this. This is something which I always wanted to bring up this topic of mixing up HSA funds with IRA. And once you open the HSA funds, Ameritrade HSA, it's called Ameritrade HSA, folks. Once you have, it is directly linked to the HSA bank, and if you and the other thing what you could do is once you have it, Ameritrade has a lot of educational tools, lot of options. Think or Swim, it's a educational tool, and everybody can learn how to. I would rather personally take charge of my own funds rather than trusting anyone, and that way, and making the right decisions. You can educate. Sometimes you you have to educate yourself, and one way to learn is sometimes it may be a hard way, but it's worth it, folks. It's worth it. Once you have it, and don't take any risks, just put it in the index funds, put it in the ETFs. ETFs is the ideal way to handle, and because they're well diversified. And S&P index, Vanguard index, you name it, folks, NASDAQ index. And those are don't buy if you are retired and you have the funds to be secure. You need to put it in the index funds. You cannot buy individuals. If you're young and you can take little risks, then you can buy individual stocks. But I definitely advise you guys to put the HSA funds into index funds, which grows with the bunch of companies, folks. So it's pretty safe. I hope. Anyway, you like this, hit the like button, subscribe, share, and I'll continue to talk about this deductible health plans. One of these days I'll talk about deductible health plans. But HSA Bank has the funds. You can open an account, you can transfer your HSA accounts, or you can open a new account. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time. Hit that notification button, folks. We will see you in the next episode. Thanks. I love you. Goodbye.